just have to do it now. If I don't, I won't ever do it.
So Astrid and Miyu are two fictional characters.
Am I going to be in like tailored blazers and tweed? And I was like, no, like we want you in like athleisure.
The myth was that you have to twist the piercing.
Yes.
But that's actually
After you've
really
had a piercing,
bad.
you do that with your earring. Well, I have to be in London. Like I have to be in the capital.
So she is very extroverted. She would go to all the fancy places in London.
Hello and welcome to Style Arcade's podcast. We are here on location at Astrid and Miyu. It's a very exciting episode. I cannot wait to introduce you to our guests because they're from the world of fashion, publishing, jewellery. It is going to be marvellous, and of course they love style just as much as me and you do. So welcome to the podcast. We've got Sarah Rivnak, the Chief Marketing Officer of Astrid and Miyu. Thank you for having us. And we've got Bronte Mitchell, who is the editor of Femme Country magazine. So we're here in Victoria Quarter, and this actually feels like more of an experience that Astrid and Miyu do, rather than, you know, just walking into a store.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's, the whole ethos behind the brand. And we entered into retail. It's all about the experience, feeling that sense of like belonging, trust. You can really be who you want to be. Really play around with the jewellery. We can talk more about this later, but quite different to that old traditional jewellery style within retail. And it's great that you feel like that.
Well, I certainly do, and absolutely, I love playing around with jewellery. I know you're a big fan as well, Bronte.
Yes, massively. I don't think you'll ever find me without some sort of jewellery on. But yeah, I don't have piercings, but I love jewellery.
Well, you never know, you might be tempted after this episode because we will be getting into that. Now, first off, I always like to open the podcast with some icebreaker questions from my guests. One or two, Sarah?
Choose one. Okay. What's one thing you're obsessed with right now? It's a tough one. But something recently I've been obsessed with is I love a little teen series drama. So I was obsessed with Off Campus.
Oh my
gosh, you guys.
Me too.
Oh my goodness, it was.
I binge watched
Yeah.
completely on that series, and my 16-year-old daughter was very embarrassed about me watching it. Mum, you can't watch that. But
yeah, it's so good. And then I just saw millions of TikTok videos of them, and then I just got so obsessed. Completely forgot my age, what real life is like, but it's so good.
Well, that's what it's meant to
escape
give you.
it.
Guilty pleasure. I can also recommend Ride or Die.
Oh, okay.
That's a good
I'll
one
put that
too.
one on the
Now,
list.
this leaves you with number two, Bronte.
What's been your biggest fashion splurge to date? Oh my goodness, so many, so many. I would probably say like some of my designer handbags. Like I've got the Dior saddle bag. That was like my first ever big like purchase when I was like younger.
How did you feel when you bought that bag?
Amazing, like so amazing. And then just like after that, I went and got some like the strap for it in the Dior on like Old Bond Street. So I think it's the whole, a bit like what Sarah was saying, it's not just the item, it's the experience that comes with it. So I'll probably remember that one just because it was like my first ever big splurge. And I've looked recently and it's gone up since I last.
Good investment.
So it was an investment, definitely.
So unlike cars depreciating, maybe we should invest in handbags.
That's what I tell my partner all the time. Yeah.
I like your style. Now, talking of style, how would you describe your style, Sarah?
My style, I guess like simple, as you can see. But I like a little pop of something. So my necklace, which is hidden, is like a pop of red, which kind of brings it a bit more trend-led. But yeah, fairly like simple and easy. Obviously, I have like 1-year-old hands all over me. So anything that doesn't mark too easy. But
That could always be a pop of colour if
Yeah,
there's paint on
the
their
pop
hands.
of, yeah,
Absolutely.
purple paint handprint.
You talked about jewellery then, and unfortunately we can't see your gorgeous red necklace. I'm going to blame our sound guy who made you tuck it in. But jewellery, as you kind of said there, it's become in recent years a statement piece. It kind of gives you that sense of self-expression, that bit of way of being personal. Is that what you found at Astrid Miyu?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously I have lots of jewellery. I don't really change my jewellery that often, but I think, a nice statement necklace, just where I wear quite like simple style, like black or white tee or whatever, adding a pop of colour or a statement necklace just makes it feel more like me. I think with jewellery, like it doesn't go out of style. And you can mix it up depending on where you're going, like what occasion is happening. I don't know, and it's truly to you, because especially, with ears, you're styling it exactly how you would. Nobody else has probably styled it the same as you. So again, like getting your own personality out there in a different way. But yeah, it can really change an outfit and make a fairly simple outfit look completely different with a change it.
I feel that. I think it's become more prominent in the fashion world than just this second thought accessory like it used to be. I mean, a great earring or a great necklace can be talked about more than an outfit. I'm going to go back to the magazine, Femme Country magazine. We've actually got it here. It looks absolutely fantastic. I am loving your front cover of this latest edition. It was an early editorial role. I mean, young when you started it, right? Which is, a massive challenge to undertake, Bronte.
Oh, thank you. So I was 19 when I started it, and it wasn't meant to be a business. It's a very long story, but I'll cut it. So I went to London College of Fashion, stayed there for just under a year, and then just didn't feel like myself, not necessarily the university, but like living in London. So I moved home, and in that sort of stretch of finding another university, I basically thought I might not get in, so I'll create like a portfolio type magazine, because I love style and I love writing, so I combined the two. And then it just kind of continued. We got into our first stockist in York. And around the second year of uni, I was like, well, this is going to become my job now. So I feel like I had a love-hate relationship with my university, because they were like, you're not attending some lectures. And I was like, yeah, but it's for an important reason, because I've got to go to like a meeting here and a meeting there. So it was kind of like thrust upon me, but I almost like that element, because I think it's forced my brain to like not think and just do. And it's just become a business quite naturally. Don't get me wrong, it does have its hard times of, everything from like finances, marketing, it has some really hardships, but it's so fun. I love doing it.
See, they were completely wrong. You were right to miss those lectures. But anybody going to university who's listening now, it's like...
Yeah, don't follow my instructions.
What about the reaction to you at that age from people that you were, knocking on the doors, or, brands that you wanted to get involved, and they're seeing this young girl? What was that like?
I think at the start it was a bit eye-opening for them, and I was going to like a lot of meetings with men in like print, and I was like the youngest person, and in getting used to their jargon and things like that was really overwhelming. But it kind of has come naturally. I'm 26 now, so I'm still talking to people who are like double my age, who have been in the industry for much longer than I have. But I think people are now wanting a bit of like a newer voice sometimes. All my girls are in they're in their 20s as well. So I think at the start, but now I do think a lot of younger people are coming into business, and it's really lovely to see that. And just starting young, like I started when I had no obligations, I was living at home, like I could just throw money at things. So it was really nice to kind of have that flexibility and that freedom. Now I don't really have that. But yeah, when you're young, you do have those moments where you're like, I just have to do it now. If I don't, I won't ever do it. Yeah.
I think that's a great sentiment. Just go for it. And we've had lots of people on this podcast who have completely said that, and it's really served them well. How long have you been with Astrid and Miyu then, Sarah?
14 years.
Wow.
A really long time. Yeah, so when I first started, so I met Connie, the founder. Previously I worked for another jewellery brand. It was the suppliers, they wanted to set up their own brand. We had the same PR agency as Connie, and I loved her. I loved the brand. I was like, I need to keep in touch with this woman. So we kept in touch for probably a year after, and then she offered me a job. It was her first employee. She was like, it's either now or never, I have to go for it. And yeah, so it was just the two of us working in her flat to begin with. And then we moved to the office, we started hiring more people. My role changed so much. I mean, every year has felt so different, so many different challenges, so exciting to see the growth. And yeah, we're here.
Stores all over the UK. I mean, that is literally from the start of it.
Yeah.
And Connie, the founder, had a real meaning behind the name Astrid and Miyu. And I mean, if people have ever been in before, they may have thought, why is it called that? But it is quite interesting, the meaning behind it.
Yeah, so people think she's called Miyu but that's not the case. So Astrid and Miyu are two fictional characters, which mean beautiful in different languages. But Astrid is a very introverted character. She's very edgy, lots of piercing, has a musician boyfriend, lives in like East London, a whole person. And then Miyu is kind of the opposite. So she is very extroverted. She would go to all the fancy places in London, like keeps ahead of all the trends, knows everyone wants to be her friend, probably a influencer, socialite type character. And we often refer to either, is that more Astrid, is that more Miyu, when we open a store or do, I don't know, photo shoot, a model, influencer we work with, are they either more Astrid, more Miyu, or kind of in the middle of both?
I love that. Yes. It's making me think, am I Astrid? Am I Miyu? Which one do I want to be? You talked about photo shoots there. I mean, you do lots of photo shoots, especially like your front cover. What is that like, trying to decide on a concept or decide who's going to grace the cover?
My goodness. I think it's, for us, I mean, Femme is, the reason I started it was to advocate for women's voices. So even just hearing about like Connie and yourself, like it's so nice to see a brand grow, and that's exactly what Femme was built to do, and for people to really kind of recognise themselves when they read it. So I think it's just a case of, when it comes to the front cover, I mean, our front covers are booked now until like 2028. Wow. So we get them filled up quite quickly. So we just kind of meet the individual, we see what their personality is, you know, what have they built. They don't have to necessarily be a country. I think I get that all the time, like, do I have to be in the countryside? I mean, Orla, who's on our summer cover, she has just been presenting the Tour de France for TNT. And it's just, to hear her story was incredible, about kind of the things that she gets from like the male side, about her being a sports presenter and how she might not fit in that category. And it's just, you know, every story I hear from a woman is so different. So when we think about what should be on the cover, it's not necessarily all the time about how do they look, what is their fashion. It's about their kind of brand identity, who they are personality-wise, their life story. And I've had so many women fully grace and be honest with us about like opening up about domestic violence, alcoholism. Like, it's just so lovely to hear them preach their stories so honestly and authentically. And when we do the shoots, that's exactly what goes into the shoots as well. But they're just so fun. Like Sarah will know, they're just to be on set is such a fun experience.
And what's it like trying to preempt what they want to wear? Because trying to dive into somebody else's fashion must be quite, hard.
It's really hard, and I think it's so funny with the country kind of name we've got. So Orla, she messaged me and she was like, "So am I going to be in like tailored blazers and tweed?" And I was like, "No, like we want you in like athleisure, energy, sporty." And she was like, "Amazing, that's so me." So we create the mood boards, and then we again look at their personality. I've just worked with Rachel Hughes, who is a stylist for ITV. So she does like Alison Hammond's, Josie Gibson's styling. So again, I'm working with exterior teams on the shoots to really finesse who this person is through their clothing and through the jewellery as well. I think it's really important. Like Orla, she had a really special necklace and she was like, "I could take it off." And I was like, no, it's super sentimental to you. Like, please keep it on. So it's figuring out all these factors.
I think it's fascinating. I really do. I just kind of want to be a fly on the wall at times like that. Style Arcades, your gateway to luxury style. Subscribe for insights from the world's most coveted brands and be the first to be notified on new episodes. Subscribe today. You must see a lot of trends, both of you, come and go. There's quite a few trends that are happening in the jewellery world.
Yeah.
I have definitely got on the bus with the ear stack trend.
Yeah.
I feel cool for the first time. That is massive right now.
Yeah. I mean, we've been doing piercing, with our story around piercing. We started ear stacking, ear styling. We had an ear bar. And so off the back of that, people were like, "Are you going to do piercings? You need to do piercings." So then that would have been about eight years ago now.
I am slow at getting there.
Yeah. But it takes time and people build up the great thing about piercings is you can have one, you style it in a way, you wait for, 6 months, come back for another. And you style it over time. It's not like you would have 5 piercings and then you're done in one go and you wouldn't do it again. And I think at different points of your life, you feel like you need a boost. You want another piercing. We've had so many interesting people come in to the store, who, 80-year-olds that want a piercing. They want to do something different. Like there's one lady that came during COVID, and it's when we could start opening up again. She'd been on her own for however long COVID had happened. She wanted a piercing, so she came and she spent an hour in the shop just speaking to our piercer and our team, and it was the best experience she had, and she was just absolutely glowing afterwards. And she'd planned to come and get this piercing, and once it opened, and
that would have been really
honestly,
special.
yeah, it says, and we have so many of those moments where people come and they just want to share their story. They're marking a certain milestone or something's happened, but that's the great thing about piercing. And there's so many different styles, like you're saying, trends, like the hidden helix is a big trend.
What is that hidden helix? Because I've got my helix done.
Yeah.
Hidden helix, is that further up?
Yeah, so it's where the bit of ear folds over here. Yeah. It's underneath there, so you don't necessarily see the piercing, but you see the dangly bit, here, dangly bit coming down. So
right.
It's a hidden.
Brilliant.
style.
So it's almost like not a chandelier effect, but literally
exactly.
you can see that.
Yeah.
So it's invisible, as if they're just there.
Yeah, and that was a trend we saw over the last year or two. And then constellation piercings.
Oh.
So people, different constellations, they would have lots of different random holes in a design, and you'd have little tiny.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah, and so there's so much that you can do to play around with it. And then the stacked lobe, where you have a second one in here, which is I mean, I love it in the office. We've got 100 girls who all love piercings, and they come in, and everyone styled their ears so differently, and get lots of inspiration.
Again, it goes back to that whole individuality, the personal kind of thing. What's the biggest misconception that you've heard about piercings?
Yeah, so I was speaking to our piercer about this as well to kind of get what they thought, but I think definitely like the pain and the healing process. And so I think with the pain element, like everyone has different pain thresholds. So some will find it more painful than others. Obviously, lobe the healing time is so much quicker than the cartilage. So yeah, for some people it's more painful than others, but another one is, I don't know if you wouldn't have, but like, you know, Claire's piercing, you know, back in the day when you were 15.
With the gun.
With the gun. And the myth was that you have to twist the piercing.
Yes.
But that's actually really bad.
After you've had a piercing, you do that with your earring and you twist every day.
That's actually a really bad way to let it heal, because it can then aggravate the piercing and actually cause infections. So the best way of aftercare is just to spray the saline solution, dab it, and then just keep it clean and leave it. Don't touch it.
The daith, I've heard that it is quite beneficial for your health to get that piercing. Is that a myth or is that right?
So I did it too. I have the daith. And so I've suffered with migraines my whole life. And so there was a thing that daith really helped with migraines. And so if you have it on the side, usually if you have migraines, it's either the left side or the right side. So whatever side it is, you would have it there. And I had it done maybe when I was like early 20s or something, like before I started here. And it did stop it for maybe 10 months, which at that time was like groundbreaking, but then it came back.
Oh, so yeah.
I think, and there are some people that I know have had it done for that reason and it has helped them. A few that have had it done, and like me, it stopped for a little period and then it came back, but it's worth trying.
You've got loads of things coming up at Astrid and Miyu. We'll get to that in a bit, but I know that you have been run off your feet recently. Events, it's not just the magazine, is it? It's like you've built a real community with Femme, with events, and is that great to go and be able to see the readers as well?
Oh my gosh, massively. And I really pride ourselves on the fact that when we have our events, our readers really, they know us as a team. I used to work for Hearst Publications down in London, and I couldn't, even now as a reader, like I couldn't possibly tell you like what the editor's interested in or their passions or who's writing that and what they're interested in. So it's really nice that at all our events, all our readers can come meet me. They feel like they're friends with me and the team, and that's really lovely. And the point of the events was to really keep us present when the magazine's not being delivered. Because it's quarterly through the seasons, we were like, what can we do when those gaps, between the delivery of the magazines? So we do a lot of like exhibiting. So we go to like a lot of the horse trials, a lot of the country events. We run our own fashion show, which is coming up in October. And then a big one in September is we are sponsoring Blenheim International Horse Trials.
Wow.
And I basically wanted to pitch this whole thing of, you could go to even like the Yorkshire show local here, you can go and see cooking demonstrations, dogs, horses, whatever. There's nothing really for like the style industry and fashion. And I just wanted to create a stage that was entirely for that. So we're going to be hosting panels. We've got guests on, influencers, brand owners. And hopefully that will be the starting point for more events like the horse trials to kind of get on board with the style, because the amount of people that come to these events, they've planned their outfits, like they just look incredible. And I just think, we need to advocate for that a bit more.
Exciting times ahead. That's going to be brilliant. I've got to ask you, if anybody is listening to this right now and are thinking, do you know what? I would love to be Bronte. I would love to dive into that whole publishing world and, maybe create my own. Mm-hmm. What advice would you give them, looking back at your time?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I think because it wasn't intentionally made to be a business, I was kind of thrust in the deep end, which is always a good thing. But I'd say just to kind of like follow the passion. And also for me in media, it was like, well, I have to be in London. Like I have to be in the capital where publishing and the fashion brands are, and I think that's just not the case. I really advocate for anyone who comes to like intern with me or any talks that I do at universities that to really kind of venture where you see fit. You know, Manchester's got some great fashion opportunities, so has Leeds. I think you don't need to necessarily go down south. And I think that was where my thought process was. But I just love advocating for print. It's really like close to home for me. My dad's in the print industry as well, so he's taught me a lot. And I just want to keep it alive as much as possible. My readers love collecting the magazines. And I just, the thought of someone throwing the magazine in the bin, like a bit like a hello, you know, when you've done it and then you're like, oh, throw it in the bin, literally gives me like shivers. So I really want it to be a thing, like a commodity where people can keep them and collect them. So that's my aim with the magazine. And we've had so many amazing comments, like just to meet the readers and hear what they say is amazing, having like consumer feedback.
That's great. I've still got magazines from when I was a teenager that are in the loft. And I really do that. There's nothing like feeling something, you know, it's really nice.
Oh, massively.
So Astrid and Miyu, in terms of going forward, what can we look forward to then, Sarah?
I mean, we've got so many things in the pipeline, and kind of a bit like what Bronte was saying, community is so important to us, events in real life. I think so much is digital and, you know, AI, like people really want that in-person like connection and touch point and meeting our customers. And so doing a lot more events. We're doing like an employee affiliate program and really like advocating for our employees and store rollout. So the US is a huge focus. We've got 2 in New York, 1 in LA. We've got a 3rd in New York opening in 2 months. And then another one coming further outside there.
Well, we could come to the opening, couldn't we, Bronte? I think
no, 100%.
Needs to be.
I'll come and do a write-up on it.
Yeah. Well, it is time to say goodbye, but before I let you go, I have got one more thing for you. Are you up for a bit of a quick fire question round? Of course you are. Of course you are. All right. Okay. I'm going to start with you, Bronte. Necklace or ring?
Oh my goodness, that's hard for the starting one. Probably rings.
Remember, this is quick fire.
Sorry. Remembering that.
Studs or hoops, Sarah? Oh, yeah, she was quick there. Trend or timeless, Bronte?
Timeless.
Buy now or sleep on it?
Oh, buy now.
Horses or dogs?
Dogs.
Podcasts or playlists?
Oh, I love podcasts, but playlists. I love music.
Brilliant. You did absolutely fabulous. And I loved every minute of our chat. So thank you so much. I actually think we should maybe have a cheeky piercing if you're up for it.
Can we tempt you?
No, that's definitely not.
She can wait till she's 80.
Yeah, I'll wait till 80. I'll be that person.
But I'm not leaving without it. So watch this space, everybody, because I am going to have a live piercing. And that's it for Style Arcades. As I've said, thank you for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed it just as much as I have. And don't forget to go and like and subscribe. Give us a review as well. We'd love that, as many stars as you want. And we've got all our other episodes from Style Arcades podcast that you can see on Spotify, you can see on Apple, you can take a look at on YouTube. We are everywhere, and you can give us a follow on Style Arcades podcast on Instagram. Bye for now and stay stylish.